Today, 21st September, is celebrated globally as the International Day of Peace. This year's theme is Shaping Peace Together. But what does peace mean to all of us?
For me, peace means loving Mother Earth.
Peace is a state of being. In the preamble to UNESCO, it says, "Since wars begin in the minds of men, it is in the minds of men that the defenses of peace must be constructed." There was a recognition that political and economic agreements are not enough to build lasting peace. Peace must be established on the basis of humanity's moral and intellectual solidarity. Each person is therefore tasked first with the development of his or her own mind, values, and actions that will bring about peace within the individual, then within each person as a member of a family, community, society, and then the greater world. We cannot abdicate our own personal responsibility, for the reflection of the state of the world is a reflection of the collective consciousness of the individuals within it. May our own practices that we implement in our daily lives to bring ourselves into that state of being where peace is, become expressions of peace itself.
To me, peace does not mean a world devoid of conflict, but a world where we wage economic wars rather than physical ones.
Peace means being tolerant to one another.
Peace means an alignment where forces that naturally could be at enmity with each other align. They become centered together. In a person, there's so many tugs and pulls on your emotions, your brain, your body, things pull in all kinds of directions. But when you're centered and there's a quiet within you, it's that quiet within you that is the peace. Everything else could be in motion, but somehow or other, at the core of who you are is rooted. Peace means rooted. Peace means equilibrium. Peace means alignment. Doesn't mean that you have to agree with everybody. You can disagree with all kinds of people, with the understanding that after the argument's over, you're still in harmony. Peace is that assurance that no matter how far away you seem from each other, you know deep down that ultimately you belong to each other, that you belong to this place in the universe together, and you're never going to make it unless the two sides, the two people who have different ways of looking at the world, figure out at the end of the day, we might differ, but we're still anchored in our appreciation of the other, in our concern for the other. Though that we have disagreements and fights, at the end of the day, that's the issue. At the end of the day, we're together, and that's peace. Peace is that anchor. Peace is that part of you inside where you know that God has put you on this earth to do something. And when you figure out what that is, you're at peace. Got a lot of work to do. A lot of people don't like you. but you go ahead and do it. And then you're at peace.
To me, peace means a place to shelter, some food to eat, and most of all, going to school for knowing the world better, as well as knowing the concept of love and care for others with morality.
Peace is not the absence of war and conflict only. It is to live in harmony among humans, but among humans with nature as well. Peace is solidarity, is compassion, is love.
Peace begins with the deepest intentions in our hearts. It has to come into action with the people we live with. It comes into action when we care about what brings them suffering and what brings them joy. Peace that's founded in those relationships, peace that's solid within our intentions, can then spread to our communities and our nation. In our nation, especially in nations that have democracy, we have to put leaders in who truly care about peace with the natural world and peace with the entirety of the human family, because in today's world, neighborhood is a moral location. The climate is one. Pandemics show us that there's no borders and we don't carry passports. Nuclear weapons threaten everybody. So the local pursuit of peace is a global pursuit of peace. And the principle that brings that deep intention of peace into realization is the golden rule. When we care for others as we care for ourselves, we see their lives as valuable. And we bring that intention into what we do, what we think. The treasure is a peace that surpasses understanding. May that treasure of the peace of the soul, the peace that is the fulfillment of our human birth, the peace that allows us to have the ground on which wisdom can arise, be realized by us in this birth. That's God's gift to us. And peace is the way to peace.
To me, peace means living in harmony.
You cannot achieve peace if you do not offer it. We must embrace peace ourselves and act on it with the surrounding environment to live in harmony and balance with all God's creations.
For me, peace is about helping others.
For me, peace is all about having the freedom to live in a world without war. It is the pursuit of happiness and the call for everyone to answer today.
Peace is a world where there is gender equality.
We live in a world of great disarray, but peace is possible. The United Nations was started 75 years ago to end the scourge of war, and we have not had an international war in all that period. So the foundations for peace, through the agenda that the United Nations has advanced, those foundations now need to be strengthened. And I think that arms control and disarmament, economic and social development, environmental protection, and the advancement of human rights are the components of the agenda we need to advance now. By peace, I mean a culture of peace in which violence is discarded, and we live in a world that respects tolerance and diversity and leads to reconciliation. And I think that the goal for peace is social justice, that people have enough to eat, decent housing, education for their children, and an opportunity to advance their lives. Is that too much to ask?
For me, peace means that every single person in the world, regardless of age, gender, race, ethnicity, disability, or sexual orientation, is able to enjoy their full human rights, free from fear, and has the opportunity to reach their full potential without prejudice.
Peace is when people are able to resolve their conflicts and can work together to improve the quality of their lives.
For me, peace means leaving no one behind.
To me, peace means nuclear disarmament and cohesion of global societies to live as a united species of Mother Earth.
To me, peace is when we take our arguments from this primitive level of wars and fighting to this advanced level of civil debate, civil discourse.
A world free of discrimination is what peace is to me.
I'm standing here with a peace pole that says the prayer, "May peace prevail on earth." And for me, peace is not just a prayer, it is a reality. It is one we create with how we live, how we think, how we do things. And it is living in collaboration with nature, with other people, with the law, but also with justice. So when things that are happening are unjust, you do stand up for them as well. So I ask everyone to work together on personal peace, peace within their families, within their communities, and in the world. May peace prevail on earth.
For me, peace is about protecting our flora and fauna.
For me, peace is about respecting everyone regardless of their age.
Peace for me means having a fossil fuel-free world.
We can only achieve global peace if we achieve inner peace.
For me, peace is about being kind to others and attaining a mutual respect.
Peace is the state in which all nations and all peoples can respect one another and work together to confront those terrible existential threats of climate change and nuclear weapons, as well as the other major problems with which humanity has to deal. Poverty, disease, such as poverty, disease, and racism.
International Day of Peace!